Hello, everybody. We are live at the DB Sports and Gaming Podcast. We are going to talk about a very special baseball episode today. Junior is making noise. I don't know what's going on
I'm
over
sorry.
there, but
I just realized I have a.
we got a special
Oh,
guest. We got a special guest this episode. Let's shout him out, and then we'll introduce our normal guys. So we got
Hey,
Bret
thanks for having
Branson
me.
here with us.
Thanks for having me. I'll
Welcome
try not
to
to
the
be
episode.
starstruck in this podcast. I feel like I'm joining celebrities.
Oh my gosh!
Long time listener, first time
take over the show.
caller, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, Brett's an OG. He's as much of an OG as any listener we have, so we appreciate it. So we'll go with, obviously we got Paul here, DB Sox.
What's up? What up with
We
it?
got DB Macho. He's remote today,
side.
out in the car, powering through it, and then obviously myself, DB/D.
Let's get nasty.
So here we are. Our intro question. Let's just get right into it because we have a lot of baseball stuff to talk about. The intro topic today is if you were a baseball player and you could have any one ability, what would it be? If you could have any one ability, what would it be? We'll start with Paul.
He sucks.
man.
What you got?
Can I just be Shohei Ohtani? Is that an ability? Just be Shohei?
You could be what like a dual player, like pitcher.
Yeah,
hitter, pitcher.
like the GOAT dual threat. Yeah, I'll do the GOAT dual threat. That's my ability. Hit 50 home runs a year and throw 103 miles an
Well,
hour, 10 Ks a game.
I don't think Shohei's doing that.
Well,
Pretty
you know,
close.
he's still young.
So,
He's just
I
growing.
I wouldn't be
throwing
surprised if like a
108.
genie asked him that question, and that's why he's so good. You know, he got to answer this question and get these results. Yeah.
From the one genie. Oh, that would make so much sense because nobody else does it.
yeah, that dude. Like,
It
can
makes
we?
so much freaking sense.
It is so unreal how good that dude is. Like, he's the modern day Babe Ruth, but so much better in a much stronger, faster, like explosive game, and it's ridiculous. It's crazy.
And he makes it look easy.
And he's
Doesn't even.
often
yeah.
the fastest guy
I
on
don't
the
know,
field
it's weird.
too. It's like no one has said that about Babe Ruth, so he's even got that on him.
That is a great point. That dude is superhuman.
Babe Ruth-
He's a big dude.
Babe Ruth would just hit bombs and then go back to the dugout.
Drink a
Wouldn't even
beer
run
on the way
bases.
All right, I guess I'll go with mine next. My one ability would be to be able to throw like just a nasty heater, like 105 mile an hour
Yeah.
heater.
Oh, just say it like pitch.
I just want to be able to just let it rip at 105 and see what that looks and sounds like out of the hand. Imagine it coming out of your own
I
hand
can't.
at 105.
At 105.
Dude, that hurts my elbow thinking about it. Like I'm imagining myself throw it, and I immediately think Tommy John. That's what I think.
I probably would have a couple Tommy Johns.
Not one, but
That's the only way to get to 105, right? Have fake ligaments in
bro,
your elbow?
you're not lying. That's what it
Yeah.
takes nowadays. You got to get the Tommy John early so that you get a career, which is crazy.
That is weird.
Yeah,
It makes me think of
that's
like
true.
dunking in basketball, but even less people can throw 100 miles an hour. So that's just crazy.
Yeah, that'd be mine for sure.
Be like
That's a good one.
dunking in women's basketball. Maybe like the
Yeah, that could be it. Just Brittany Griner.
well, what do
Yeah,
do we
that would be the right
do we want to go keep it in order? Brett, go third.
I'm down. So I was thinking,
Yeah,
like, obviously,
Let's get it.
I would pick like to mash a home run every time I came up to bat, but that feels like cheating. So I'm gonna say like to never lose track of a ball. So like it seems like if you're playing in the outfield, a lot of times or every now and then you lose track of it, you miss it. But if I would never miss a fly ball because I never lost track of it, that would be my superpower.
Yep.
Just
That'd be
extreme
good.
vision.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be cool, actually. Even like,
I like that.
even like on those sunny,
He'd be like, "Oh, there goes a bird."
on those sunny days too, or when those like at those night games, or they
Yeah,
used in
exactly.
the lights, like that would be a superhuman.
Have you guys ever experienced? So I played center field growing up. Did you guys ever actually experience what a sky high ball is?
I thought so.
No.
So like
No.
You know how there's announcers and they'll say, "Oh, sky high pop fly here." Like that's an actual thing where like a sky high baseball, it like disappears in the blue sky because the sky is so blue and
Oh
clear
wow.
that the white ball just goes away because it's so
Man,
high up. And then
Jeez.
you're like, I can't see it. It's honestly probably the hardest thing to track. Like I've tracked balls in the sun, I've tracked balls in the clouds with the white background, but like when it's just clear blue outside, I'm like, oh, I hope nobody
I
hits
don't
one
want to
super
one
high. I
up you,
might lose
but
it.
I grew up in West Texas, and I had to catch a pop fly in like a habab. Have y'all ever seen those? It's like I think it's
what?
called a habab, where it's like a thunderstorm, but it's all dirt, right? So like
Oh, that sounds
they hit the ball in the
terrible.
air, and it is gone. It's just in the dirt, and I'm like, I can't catch this, and it hits like 5 feet away from me. I'm like, I never saw it. It was in the storm. So yeah, I mean, I'm
looked
looking
like
up at the
dirt.
sky, and it's not there. So
That's
it's gross.
You're like, why are
what was it? A hub?
It might be a
what is-
haboob.
what?
Look it up. Look it
Meanwhile,
up.
I'm
It's
complaining
wild.
about it being.
I've never heard that.
We'll go with haboob.
Yeah,
I like haboob better.
yeah. Let's somebody Google
Meanwhile,
haboob and see what comes
complaining
up.
about, I'm complaining about clear skies
I know
over
you
here.
said
and
you said
meanwhile,
oh
Brett's
it's the
catching
hardest to
balls
see in a
desert
clear
storm.
blue sky. I'm like oh well, I don't know about that, man.
That's what sky high is, though. Just so you know, that's actually what it is.
That's a great
that's-
point.
that
That's
is awesome.
funny. Dirt in your
Yeah.
eyes.
All right,
oh
Junior.
man. Anyways, all right. So, this has always been like my thing, kind of growing up, is being able to like flash the leather, like just make dynamic defensive plays. But I think more so not really out in the like outfield, but like those infielders, specifically like shortstop, second base, like how they can just like get to a ball, dive, like, and then just pop up and throw them out at first base. That has always been like my favorite part of baseball, and like I would love to have just that dynamic skill. I wouldn't even care about hitting. Like if I could do that, like just
a
be
defensive
do
specialist.
a defensive explosive specialist with an arm, and like that would be so freaking sweet. Um,
There was a shortstop that was kind of like that, wasn't there? Like he literally couldn't. He hit like 187 every year and was.
I feel like there's a lot of
He
those
was on
guys,
like the.
especially
Yeah, you're
nowadays. Like everybody's
true.
hitting 187.
Yeah.
Well, that's the
yeah.
Red Sox roster at least.
Yeah, no kidding. Actually, the hits have gone way up. Averages are a lot higher too, ever since that shift change.
It's fun baseball.
Yeah, we're
Well, yes, baseball is on fire right now, which is why it's kind of inspired this episode. But so what we're going to do on this episode is a little different than normal. We're not going to do a whole different section of sports and gaming. This episode is just going to be us reviewing basically our favorite players of all time, kind of creating a lineup 1 through 9 with a DH. We're going to pick one starting pitcher and one closing pitcher. And it's just strictly based off of our own personal favoritism, really. Nothing other than that. And it's not, best of all time or anything. It's literally our favorite players of all time by position. And so obviously we're expecting a little overlap between me, Paul, and Junior somewhere. I don't know where it's
I
going to
don't.
be. It's going to be
I
somewhere.
don't know if you're looking at
But we're all
hats.
big AL East watchers. We're big Red Sox fans. So if there's a little overlap there, just bear with us. We're all in Red Sox hats. It's going to happen.
Y'all better not pick
Probably
any
at second
Rangers.
base. Anyways,
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
and then Brett's a big Rangers fan, Texas Rangers. So I'm excited to see what his are.
Let's go.
I'm hoping for a Hammer and Hank in there. I'm just going to throw it out
Man.
there. But anyways,
David Murphy.
Oh, gross. Get David, bro, don't drop David Murphy out here. Get him. I'll get that
Whoa,
out
whoa,
of here.
whoa, whoa.
Michael
Where's
Young
the-
is
Where's
better.
the hate for David Murphy coming from?
David
Bro, David Murphy was kind of
No.
nice. That dude had a sick walk-up
There's better
song.
guys than that. David Murphy. I mean, he's solid, but no.
Bro, he was good.
all right.
David
David Murphy. is-
God, David Murphy is
he was
creating
cool.
a stir.
He was cool, but we're not going to die on the David Murphy argument.
That's what the people want, man.
Okay, so first base. We're gonna start at first base. We're gonna go in order by base, then to outfield. So let's go first base. I said the order would be we'll go me, Paul, Brett, Jr. So my favorite first baseman of all time, the one that I would start for this lineup would be Rafael.
No.
That's a good one.
3,000 career hits, 569 home runs, all while batting 288. Just disgusting. His OPS was 885, just a solid player. But the thing I loved so much about Rafael Palmeiro is that sweet, sweet swing. He really had, like, other than like a few other notable players, I'm not going to list them because I don't want to ruin anything, but he had like the smoothest swing for how much pop he had. And yes, I think he did take some steroids. Let's just push that to the side. He didn't look like he took steroids, though. Everybody was so surprised when it happened because he's like not super jacked or anything, and his head was normal sized. I mean, so Rafael Palmeiro, that's my pick.
I like
That's what I'm
that. That's
sticking
good.
with.
So I'm gonna go a slight different route. So you went somebody, you know, nice clean swing, looked lean. I'm gonna go complete opposite. I'm gonna go with somebody who had a disgusting swing and was definitely on steroids. Mark McGwire.
Hey, some people love Mark McGwire's swing, but yeah,
Bro,
actually, it was a little
if
weird.
you go watch Mark McGwire's clips, he's got such an unorthodox looking swing, but that dude's freaking forearms were the size of both of my legs combined. And he literally just hit nothing but bombs, and that's all I want in this team is bombs.
That dude was a
so Mark
that dude was a
McGwire, first base.
bodybuilder playing first base. Like that's what he was basically.
Yeah, he should not have been
He
playing
was
baseball
massive.
legally,
He
at
was
least.
He
massive.
probably should have been a middle linebacker somewhere.
Probably. That's a good pick though.
All right, so we got Palmeiro and Mark McGwire. Yeah, that's pretty drastically different. There is one consistency there, though, steroids. So
Nice.
Yes. One was more
Hopefully-
obvious, though.
Hopefully, I'll get us
Bret,
off
Bret,
the
what do you got at
steroid
first base?
track here. So I want to preface mine with saying I'm a Rangers fan, so I could have a Ranger for all of these. I wrote a list and it was all Rangers, and I was like, no, I've got to change. I gotta be a little different. Also, I didn't watch a lot of baseball until about like 2008. So like I played it my whole life, but 2008
Oh, wow.
was like when I really got into it and watching it all the time.
that's part of why I love this idea is because we did watch, like me, Paul, and Jenner watched at similar times, but we also did watch different teams in different times.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool hearing your perspective. It'll be a nice change up, I think, for the people that are
Good
listening.
deal. Good deal. So
So,
my
go
first
ahead.
baseman is a current guy, Freddie Freeman. I fell in love with Freddie Freeman
Nice.
watching an All-Star game where they kept talking to him all the time, and I was like, this guy's so nice. Like I want to root for him because he's so nice. And then it turns out he's Canadian, so I was like, oh, of course.
Up with his fun too.
You looked into his eyes,
Yeah, I
didn't
was
you?
just like,
Heck
oh
yeah.
my
You looked
gosh,
into his
this
eyes.
guy.
Got mesmerized.
And he helped his team win a World Series recently, and I was rooting for Atlanta when they were playing, so it was fun to root for him there.
Yeah.
Now that he's on the stacked Dodgers, it's harder to root for him, but still, that's a guy.
Well,
So sad.
that pick will mean a lot to our biggest fan,
okay.
Roland, because he's a Braves fan.
Good.
So,
Yeah, he'll love that.
he'll love that Freddie Freeman pick.
All right. That
That's a
is
good
a good pick. I like the current pick also. So me at number 4, it's really funny that Sam went Palmeiro. So this morning I changed my first baseman. And honestly, I'm gonna revert back to it because I don't want to have the same first baseman as Sam. But I changed it to Palmeiro because he was on the Rangers. He does have a smooth swing and he has a sweet mustache and all that. But I'm gonna go to my original. My original was Todd Helton, and I go with Todd Helton because I remember watching him play and always thinking, this guy is so freaking good. Like in a stacked
Helton.
like era of first basemen, I always envisioned Todd Helton as like the professional baseball hitter. Like he's just a gold standard. And he was just really, really good. And I just think Todd Helton, he gets slept on so much. So yeah, I go Todd Helton number at
I
first
like
base.
that. I feel like
That's
we
different.
could do a little stat review for Todd Helton
Yeah, dude.
just to throw him some positivity.
Bro, if you
dude,
look at like
Todd
the
Helton.
top 10 OPSs, it's crazy. You could pick any of those guys and you gotta.
He had a 316 career batting average. That's
316
pretty good.
average,
Yeah.
2,500 hits, 369 home runs. I mean, he almost had 400 home runs. He's got pop.
Yeah, he does.
How many seasons did he play?
He was just a good ball player.
Even
I don't have that. It doesn't show me that right now. I don't know how many he played.
Paul, you got the dual screen?
he played from 97 to 2013, whatever that
That
is
is
up to.
Mr.
16
Consistent.
years.
Time, 20
Wow,
years.
That's a good amount of time. Yeah. But yeah.
Wow.
Hi, Helton. He's the man.
So you had Palmeiro. You switched to Palmeiro.
I switched to Palmeiro
Is that-
this morning. I was like, you know what? Palmeiro, I loved watching him play. I loved his mustache. I loved like his
Dude, the
smooth
mustache.
swing, and he would just hit bombs. I liked his finger point about not taking steroids. Like his whole
And then he
his
took
whole
steroids.
thing was. I just really liked watching him on the Rangers. Like he was a professional hitter. But I didn't want the
All
same
right.
here. So.
Well, that's okay. Like I said, I think there's going to be some overlap in
For
here,
sure.
particularly maybe on this one. We're going to second base. And this was just I thought about all the awesome second basemen, and I used to love like second base was my favorite position to watch and play. So like I had a real soft spot for second base. But for me, there was only one choice. It's Dustin Pedroia. And he did not have the most amazing whole career because he got hurt so much. But man, those first few years when he was himself, he was so
MVP.
exciting to watch. Just defensively, a stud. The best, arguably, like, to me, he was like one of the best defensive second basemen of all time. Just a grinded out player. And he swung. What I loved about Dustin Pedroia is he swung so goddamn
Dude, there was
hard.
no contact swing.
Yeah, dude.
It was as hard as he could every time.
And
It looked
I
like he
think
used a 40-inch bat too.
that's what I was gonna say. Is I don't know how big his bat was, but God, it was huge. He would stand at like the back of the batter's box and just swing as hard as he could.
Cover the entire plate, box to box.
Well, Paul, do you have Pedroia? I have Pedroia.
I thought about going Ian Kinsler because I used to love Kinsler growing up, and you
Yeah.
know he used to be like pretty flashy. But yeah, I had to go with my
well,
Red
I'll
Sox
go
roots.
Kinsler
Alright, we
because
all
that's
like
what I was. I love Kinsler, so good pick.
Kinsler's a
Dude, Ian Kinsler. Hang on. Let me look up Pedroia stats, and then we'll look at just career stats. That's all I have pulled up. So
I have his stats up.
I like looking at the WAR too.
Kins.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell
1.9
you.
WAR.
I'm
What
going
does
to tell
that
you
mean?
Pedroia's WAR in stats. Paul, will you look up Kinsler's? So Pedroia's WAR was 51.9. He had 140 home runs, which I think he would have had so many more if he didn't get hurt. He would probably be
Wow,
at
they
least
were
close to
actually very
300.
close. That's
Uh,
crazy.
Batting average was 299, so just 300 hitter. 138 stolen bases. His OPS was 805, so that's pretty good for a second baseman, but he lost a lot of his pop when he got hurt at the end of his career.
I mean, his
So-
knee,
Yeah,
he just
his
really
knees.
couldn't recover from it.
He won an MVP and a Rookie of the Year. I mean, the dude was legit.
You know, the year that he won the MVP, like Kevin Youkilis was very well deserving of that MVP. Also, he had a crazy stupid year, and like he beat out Kevin Youkilis on that same year.
Yeah,
Freaking K-Uke, man.
he was the heart and soul of that team too. Everybody
was.
just knew
You know,
there was like maybe he was lacking a little in stats somewhere on that year, but it was like everybody knew how much he meant to that team winning. That they
Yeah,
were
he
like,
was
it's got to be
Boston.
him.
he the one word I think of when I think of Dustin Pedroia is grit. That dude has so much grit, and
Yep.
he's so gritty everywhere on the field, running, defensive.
On the field, on the plate, on the bases.
I just have an image of Pedroia
So
holding
3
a
Dustin
giant
Pedroias.
bat sitting in the box. That's all I could think of when y'all said his name. Just a
yeah, dude. It's-
Taking
I don't- it could have
aggressive
been just because he
backs.
was short. How tall
He's a
is
little
he?
dude.
5'9"?
He's a small guy.
Yeah.
He played-
All right, what's Kinsler's? Let's compare real quick.
Kinsler compared to Pedroia. Pedroia had a 51.9. Kinsler actually has a higher WAR of 54.1.
Wow.
He had
nice.
2,000 hits, 257 home runs, another 120 home runs, and a 269 career batting average.
Well, I think Kinsler had a much longer career.
He did.
Definitely
he got
a
hurt
lot
a little less.
healther.
Yeah, and he was. I mean, Kinsler was good.
I love Kinsler.
Kinsler was so
Dude.
good.
I mean,
Kinsler at Texas was
and he was there.
A
He
different
came up
breed.
through our minor league system,
Yeah.
so I got to watch him when he was on the Rough Riders and stuff. And so I was like, oh, this is my guy.
Nice.
You know, this is my guy. And then he makes the pros, and he's good there, and I feel validated. You know, and
Like I could be a
exactly,
scout.
exactly.
That's what I was going to say. Is that he played. I think he played a decent amount of years in the minors before he even got a pro start.
So it's like when you see a guy get drafted and then come through your team, it's like that's really fun. But he was the pop-up king, man.
Yeah, that is
I felt
really
like
cool.
he was popping up, or like it was either home run, base hit, pop-up. You know, that was like his all the time. He had like such an undercut swing, but boy, I loved it.
Yeah.
I used to love his
Yeah,
stance. He used to do like
did
a
little
weird
twitch.
little, like,
Yeah, like a little shimmy.
twitchy.
Yeah.
I used to try to do that, and I was like, I can't do that. I don't know how he
He
does that.
just kept popping up.
I would do it, and it just looked stupid.
And he was
So I
one of the
like,
best players on the best Ranger
back
teams. So I had to pick him. And then
Back-to-back World
Absolutely.
Series.
and then he actually won the World Series with y'all. So it was like, oh, that stings a little.
Dude, yeah.
That's
Those
true.
Rangers teams were crazy. Like, so crazy, man. Like,
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. But let's
Well, that was a fast round.
go. Let's move
with
on
all
to
the grown-up
shortstop.
picks.
We're
We're
going
going
third
third
base.
base. We'll go third base and shortstop. So, third base. This one was a little hard for me
Me too, dude.
when I got
There's
into
so many
digging
good
deep on
ones.
it. I was like, man, what am I gonna pick for third
I
base?
forgot mine.
And this is where I ended up. I'm just gonna go with it. I ended up at Evan Longoria. He's
That's
still
good
playing
one.
somehow. But Evan Longoria, dude, he has a 58.6 WAR. He has right now he has 1893, so 1,893 hits, 333 home runs. His career average is only showing 266, but this year he's batting 303. So we'll see.
He's back.
I didn't realize he was still
Maybe.
playing until I
Yeah.
saw like a.
His career OPS is 807. So apparently, I like the guys with 800 OPSs for their career. But
That's not. I mean, that's
Either
that's
way,
very-
Gloria, dude.
the thing I remember about him is like he just had he was another guy with a sweet looking swing and it looked
Yep.
effortless. And when he first came up, that dude had some serious pop. He's getting a little old now, but
He was good in the
fact
field
that
too,
he's still
man.
playing shows you the longevity of his style of player.
He's just
So,
got some skills.
sure.
Evan
Got
Longoria.
some good habits. Got some good skills.
Nice. I like that. I think mine might be also common in this. I'm gonna go Adrian Beltre. Started with the Red Sox. Wish he would have stayed. Went to Texas, and this dude was just like, he's such a good ball player. He's such a good hitter. He's like always one of the guys joking on the field, and he patented those back knee on the ground home runs, just
Yeah,
pimp
that's so
jobs.
true.
So I'm gonna go
Dude.
Adrian Beltre, 93.5
Talk
WAR.
about a war, dude.
93.5.
Not only that,
God damn.
not only that, his Gold Gloves. He was like
Hey,
I don't know,
crazy
what was it,
plays.
like 8-time
Yeah,
Gold
dude.
Glove? Yeah, I think I don't even.
5-time gold glove, 2-time platinum glove.
It's just ridiculous, man. He's just so good defensively, and he played forever, like forever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He just
did.
retired, what, like 2 years ago, 3 years
Probably
ago?
like 4 or 5 years ago.
Nah, dude. This is more than
Maybe
that.
5 years.
No, it's 5
Yeah, I
years
was
ago.
gonna say that was a little bit wild.
Oh,
I actually went to
he played
I
20
actually
years.
went to the game where he got inducted to the Rangers Hall of Fame. It was pretty
To
cool.
put this in perspective, though, he only had a 819 OPS. So Longoria 809 or 807, he's right there. Similar player.
Yeah, but did he have a 93.5 WAR?
No, dude, but you got to remember too, WARs accounts for wins, and those
Hey.
Rangers teams were disgusting. So they won a lot.
It's weird too, though,
You
because
got to remember that. Longoria was on the Rays, dude.
Yeah,
biggest
they were
knock
ass
on
back
Beltre
then.
too is he never won the whole thing. So it's like there's a debate on whether he should be in the Hall
Yeah.
of Fame, and it's like I think so, but also I get the arguments against him where he's a great player, but is he like Hall of Fame level? He is in my book, but he was also my pick. So
I think he's
I think he is
he's
too.
gotta be Hall of
the
Fame.
consistency has to matter
477
for
home
something
runs.
too. Got 3,000 hits. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
I think
that's who I picked
that who
for
you
sure.
had,
Yeah,
Brett?
Beltre. You got to have him on there. I mean,
Okay. Just making sure.
he was a staple at third base on those Rangers teams.
Okay.
Well, we got 2 Beltres. I guess I'll wrap it up. And at third base, I go probably no surprise. We all got well, I thought we all had different one. I go Chipper Jones. That's more of like
Here's my second.
my childhood like watching a baseball
He
player.
deserves to be in there.
But Chipper Jones, like he's like the standard for switch hitting like position players. Like he hits so good from both sides. He didn't have like the best defensive glove. I think he maybe won like 1 Gold Glove, but he's just consistency. Good hitter. He hit for average. He hit for power. I don't think he ever struck out more than 100 times in a season. Yeah,
Jeez.
he's just all around just good third baseman. And he has nostalgia for me. That dude has so much nostalgia being on those Braves teams.
Yeah.
You think like Chipper Jones is like a royalty name, like in baseball.
Chipper Jones has an MVP. He's got a World Series. He's got a batting title. 2-time Silver Slugger. 8 times All-Star.
Yeah.
85.3 WAR. So a lot of winning teams. Dude, listen to this. He has 468 career home runs. He's got more than Beltre.
Yeah, dude, he was.
I don't know
No,
why. I don't
Beltre's got
think of him like that.
He had
477.
some pop, man.
Close.
Oh, okay,
Chipper
okay.
Jones
I thought he
had
had less.
pop.
Chipper had some pop. Yeah, his OPS was 930.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
That's next level, dude. When you have an OPS of 900 for your career,
That's crazy.
that's wild.
He's a heck of a backyard baseball player too.
So
That's insane.
oh man, backyard baseball.
All right.
You guys remember the bigs?
Dude, yes. I used to love the bigs. Used to hit freaking so many home
Everybody
runs.
was on steroids in the bigs.
Yeah, dude. I love the bigs.
We're talking sunflower seeds? What are we talking?
No, dude, you probably missed that game.
Yeah, I don't think I got that one.
I think that was early on in your military career. I think you missed the bigs. Yeah. Anyways, speaking of the bigs, shortstop is up.
This is gonna get weird.
This is arguably. This is gonna get weird, and I'm gonna start it right now because my shortstop I picked was Derek Jeter.
No!
Oh,
What is wrong?
no.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick.
No,
No.
no.
As a longtime Red Sox fan, I
No.
cannot lie. Every time that guy came up to bat, I was like, he's just got so much swagger. He's just so cool, and I hated it, but I loved
Overrated.
it.
He's pretty good.
71.3 WAR, 3,465
71?
hits. 3,465
That's
hits.
crazy.
This dude, 260 home runs, 310 career batting average, 358 stolen bases, OPS of 817. This dude was just everything you needed on offense from a shortstop. Early on in his career, he was a living highlight reel. You know, he probably should have been at a different position later in his career, but you know that's part of playing shortstop. You get old; it's hard to play shortstop when
That's
you
what
get
you
old.
get when you're.
And he held it down for his whole
He
career.
was the captain, so he
props to him.
got to do what he wanted.
He's the captain, man.
And I mean, it's not like he didn't deserve it. And honestly, he had a dating list that is nothing short of Hall of Fame. So
You know, when I think of Derek Jeter, I think of 2 plays. I think of the one, obviously, where he dove in the stands. It came out and his face was bleeding, and he caught the ball. And I was like, man, the commitment and how hard he plays. For as famous as a person as he is, he could have easily just let that go foul. But that wasn't who he was. At his heart, he was like a grinded out baseball player, just like Pedroia. I could see Pedroia making that same play.
Yeah.
And then there was that one play, like it was on the trailer of like a video game, like All-Star Baseball or something, and he was like on a relay throw to home plate. You know that play where he's like up the first baseline and then pitches it to the catcher. I almost knocked something over. Pitches it to the catcher, and they get the out at home, and I'm like, whoa! Like, why is he even there? Everybody was amazed.
Big game, right?
honestly, it was.
I think it was maybe in the playoffs or something.
Honestly, though, like I don't know if he really even needed to relay that throw. He probably should have just let it go through. Like, in reality,
but it was cool that he was there.
It was cool.
I was just my opinion.
He wanted the assist.
He wanted
All right. Derek Jeter.
Oh, dude, I
It's a
can't
good
believe
pick.
bummer,
It's a good pick.
man.
That's- I almost
awful.
picked him.
That's brutal.
I almost picked
Thanks,
him.
Brett.
Bad
Thanks,
run.
Brett. Thanks, Brett. I'm so happy you're here. I'm so happy you're here. I'd be getting grilled.
So for me, this guy gives me kind of Dustin Pedroia vibes, just because I grew up watching him, when I was young, and then he ended up leaving, and I still like kind of followed him a little bit. Nomar Garcia-Parra, freaking love me.
You sure y'all aren't
Nomar
Ranger fans?
Garcia-Parra, whenever he was. Well, I don't know, man.
There's a lot of
Nomar
overlap
is
between
so
these teams,
good.
actually, now that we think about it.
No more.
You got a
Good
stat,
hitter,
Paul?
good ball player, good fielder. Yeah, he had a 44.3 WAR, which isn't crazy. 1,700 hits. See, like he gives me Pedroia vibes because like his stats seem like they're kind of like not great, but like this dude was a ball player. 229 home runs, 313 career batting average, almost 1,000 RBIs.
Oh, he left when he
95 stolen bases.
he left the Red Sox. He
Eight-
kind of fell off.
882 OPS, dude. 882 OPS. So he was slugging, he was on base. That's almost 900 for a career. That's really good.
Yeah, I loved me some Nomar.
I remember one time watching Nomar Garcia-Parra growing up, and they were just highlighting at how awesome he was at running bases. They were like, the way that he rounds bases is just different than other people. He just always gets that perfect plant on the inside corner of the bag.
Perfect
and this is
banana.
why he's able to run so many triples. And I was like, is this true? I feel like most people do that.
They're hyping him up, dude. They're gassing him up.
I don't know why. That's a memory in my head of Nomar.
All right, Brett, what do you got?
Also, I want to say I thought Garcia played on the Rangers. He didn't. So I guess I just liked him even though he never played on the Rangers. Maybe that's it.
You're
Yeah.
secretly a Red Sox
I was
fan.
like, wait a minute. So, anyways, though, for shortstop, I have a guy who's actually on y'all's team right now, Trevor Story. Yeah, dude. I love Trevor Story.
Yes.
I love
gonna
him.
love
I mean,
that.
he's from Texas, so
Yes.
like I remember him playing in at the Ranger Stadium a few times when we were playing Colorado, and he just smoked us. And I'm like, Dad, that guy's good. And he's like, yeah, well, he's from Texas, and he plays in the NL, so I can root for him. And so I was always rooting for him in Colorado. I felt like he was
Nice.
hidden, like no one knew about him, and so I was a big fan.
Yeah.
And
He had some
it's
good
great
years.
years. Yeah, for a while he was.
Yeah.
It's
Let me look at Trevor
2018,
Story.
2019. He had 35 plus home runs and a near 300 batting average. Like he was
He had like 3 years where he
MVP
was just
numbers.
like, damn, this
Yeah.
guy is good.
And
Yeah.
before we
he
got
hasn't really.
Seager, I really wanted him to come to Rangers. So I was bummed that he went to y'all's team. But
You know what? The shortstop I think of all time for the Rangers is Michael Young. Like that guy, that dude is forever my favorite Rangers shortstop. That guy is so good.
Is that your pick?
No, it's not my pick, but I just needed to shout out
Yeah,
Michael
yeah.
Young.
The Sambat. He made me want a Sambat so bad.
Yeah, with a bat, a little bat.
And I got one eventually. I got one, and I used it for a year, and it broke.
That's pretty good.
very-
Getting
that was very
a
sad.
year out of a wooden bat.
Yeah, I've always been good at finding the barrel, so I don't break many bats. I've only ever broke 2 wood bats in my career, and they were both last year, so I think I was sucking a little.
Yeah, that's
like
on
you said, everyone gets old.
Um,
Man.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Thanks, Brett.
So person I got at short, same as Paul. I got Nomar Garcia-Parra, and the reason why I go Nomar is because
Yes.
he is the guy who really he's my first favorite baseball player ever. He's a guy who got me watching the Red Sox. He's the guy who really got me into baseball. Nomar Garcia-Parra, he's the reason why I'm a Red Sox fan. When he left and went to the Dodgers, he wasn't the same baseball player. I still watched him, but he went to the Dodgers. He was a different player, but I still kept on watching
Dyers.
the Red Sox, and that's why I wear the B hat right now.
Man, I'm not gonna lie. I thought you were gonna cry.
Oh no, I was just drinking some coffee. So
Getting choked up.
You're getting real
maybe I am
emotional.
crying. Why you gotta point it out? It's really sad when he left the Red Sox, went to the Dodgers. He was never the same guy. They put him at first base. I was like, what are you guys doing to this guy?
Yeah.
Like, what's happening right now? He was out of his element. He should have never left, but I guess they didn't want to pay him. But dude, he batted like 370 something one season. like stupid,
Yeah.
ridiculous. And then like his bat, like his in between at bats habits of toe tapping and like fixing his gloves, like. Dude, he just had like his little things that he did, and I freaking loved it. That would not fly in today's game. Like, can you imagine him trying to do that in today's game? Like that.
We'd strike out without taking a pitch.
Just trying to like.
You're like, time. That's a strike.
But yeah, Garcia Parra, he's the guy who started it all for me. So.
All right,
I like those picks. Besides the Jeter pick,
I missed one thing here. I wanted to shout out Trevor Story's 2016 to 2019 home runs.
Oh, let's go.
2016, 27, 2017, 24, 2018, 37, 2019, 35.
Yeah.
He was
Dude is
so
at
shortstop.
good.
The shortstop position.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't really see that very often.
So, all right, let's try to summarize our teams real quick. So, Sam's team so far is Rafael Palmeiro, Dustin Pedroia, Evan Longoria, Derek Jeter. That's the infield. That's pretty good.
Awesome.
Paul?
I got Mark McGwire, Dustin Pedroia, Adrian Beltre, Nomar Garcia Parra.
I got
like
Freddie
that as
Freeman,
well.
Ian
Bret?
Kinsler, Trevor Story, Adrian Beltre.
Okay.
I like that.
I got
just
Todd
has a bite.
Helton, Pedroia, Chipper
Oh,
Jones,
dude.
and Nomar Garcia Parra.
God, Todd Helton.
Showed his age a bit there.
Dude, man, the first
How about
baseman.
the Rockies players making the list?
I heard the first basemans
Oh.
were so hard for me to choose from. That was the most difficult I've had.
And you came down to Todd Helton, dude. God.
All right, if you guys didn't like the last one, you're not going to like this one. We're doing catchers.
Oh, who are you going with? Don't tell me Yogi Berra.
And my catcher, my favorite catcher
You know, Posada.
to
God
watch.
damn it!
I'm going
No.
with Jorge Posada.
No, I thought you'd go like Pudge or something.
Anybody
You'd
but
go freaking
Jorge.
Posada?
It's Jorge.
Cheater through his hat.
God, I hated Jorge.
Dude, I hate this episode.
Jorge Posada.
Are you secretly wearing a Yankees hat under there? What the hell?
It's Jorge Posada, dude.
He's got Yankee underwear on.
He is the switch hitting catcher with the 848 OPS for his career.
Yeah, well, he looks
42.7
stupid.
WAR. 275 home runs for his career. That's a lot for a catcher.
He was a good catcher.
He was a good catcher,
Good catcher.
man. And he gave me the catcher vibes that I wanted. We never had we had Veritek. Veritek was cool. But
I was about to say, don't you dare disrespect Veritek.
if I was, I'm not going to lie, but if I could, I would probably rather, just offensively, I think I would rather have Posada. So, there it is. It's out there.
You're a terrible
Hey,
human
Sam,
being.
take-
Hey, Sam, by the way, I hate you. Anyways, all right.
Okay. Yep.
What do you got, Paul?
Okay, well, I'm going a complete different route. This guy also gives me Dustin Pedroia vibes for the Red Sox. I'm going Jason Veritek. This dude was one of my favorite baseball players growing up. I don't know why. I just loved Jason Veritek. Anytime I was playing like MVP baseball, I wanted Jason Veritek on the roster. I don't know what it was about him. His numbers literally aren't great. I mean, he had 1,300 hits, 193. He had some power.
What was his
193 pounds.
OPS?
256. I don't even see his OPS. Oh,
I'll
here you
find
go.
it.
OPS 776. That's not awful.
First one in the 700s of the whole team.
Yeah, but his rookie year, bro, he had a 2.0 OPS. Like, come on, give the guy his.
Nah, he must have played
What was
one
that
game.
at? How many at bats was
Nah,
that?
dude. Dude, Veritek is like the heart. He's still with the Red Sox. He coaches. He's the hitting coach now. And you know why the Red Sox are hitting well? Because they got Veritek as the hitting coach.
That's surprising,
why.
actually.
That is a little bit surprising.
That
And
they
he's the
would hire
catcher's
a guy
coach.
with a career 700 OPS for the hitting coach.
Bro, have you seen our catchers this year? Our catchers are producing. I don't want to hear shit. Reese McGuire went from hitting like 190 to hitting 460 this year. I don't want to hear anything
What's it-
from
Has he
him.
thrown anybody out
Freaking,
yet?
No, but Connor Wong, who's the other catcher, he's thrown out
Nobody's
like
thrown
5 of
anyone
6
else.
This is
people.
quickly turning into a Red Sox. Yeah, this is quickly turning into a Red Sox pod.
All right, yeah, let's get this switched up. Let's go to Brett.
Yeah. I'll bring it back
Brett,
around. So
Brett, break
I
us
got
away.
Buster Posey as my catcher. That dude, That dude was like the face of
Oh,
baseball when I
that's
was
good.
loving baseball. And he's 7-time All-Star
Yeah,
as a catcher,
Dude.
a 3-time World Series
Yeah.
champion, Rookie of the Year, MVP winner, got Comeback Player of the Year twice. I mean, he's just a stud. Yeah. And
Golly.
Yeah.
I fell in love with
That's
this
good.
dude
That's a good
when
pick.
he had his Rookie of the Year, and I was like, okay, he's a really good catcher. But then, do y'all remember the collision at home plate where he broke his fibia
Yeah.
and tore all of the
Yes.
ligaments in his knee?
Yes.
And then the
Brutal.
next year he comes back and is just as good, if not better. And I was like, that guy is, and he's playing catcher. That's like the hardest position in baseball.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, how do you play catcher
Yeah.
like that?
Yeah, how do you play catcher after
was awesome.
destroying your
You-
leg, and you come back
Yeah.
and you play catcher for the rest of your career?
You know what's crazy about him too is like after that happened also, like of course they changed the rule of baseball
Yeah.
after that.
he's got a
Um,
posy rule.
But also after that though, yeah, exactly. But he wasn't the kind of guy who was out there just like talking shit and like bitching and like he just played the game. He played it right. He played it good, and he performed at every level of the catcher position. And like,
I feel like he was Jeter-esque with his
yeah,
captaincy.
yeah.
You
That's
know,
a good-
like
I like that.
he had his own Buster Posey captaincy that you were like, that dude has been like the captain of the Giants, and that's why those teams were competitive
Yep.
for so long.
Yep.
It was because
Yeah.
they had him leading the
Yeah.
way.
They also had Pablo Sandoval. But
Okay, dude.
Dude, he was great for the Giants.
One more
Dude, he was
one
so
more
good.
thing on Posey.
That's a whole other
Alright.
10.
Is I just want to say he went out on his own terms, and you don't see that very often. The last season that he played, he had a 304 batting average, which is the highest by any catcher's final season. Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
Pretty
Damn.
awesome. It's hard.
he's like,
Honestly,
Yeah,
I
It's
think
hard to
that
hit
might
for
be the best
average.
pick so
It's
far.
hard to hit for average.
yeah, that was a
Yeah.
good pick.
I also want to shout out Pudge.
Um,
That was my first pick, and I was like, actually, I just can't do it because I didn't watch him
Yeah,
as much.
Pudge. I like Pudge.
Pudge is good.
Nice.
He was good.
I thought Sam was gonna go Pudge.
I liked Pudge, but like,
Little before my
I
time.
don't
His
know.
cards suck in the show, so now you don't fucking use
He
him.
played on the Tigers. And
I just like
Tigers weren't
Posada,
like that
man.
good.
Like growing up, I'm biased too, though. Like that's part of this, right? I'm a little biased. I watched a lot of Yankees Red Sox, and when I had
Clearly,
to choice of
you watched a
Veritek or
lot of
Posada,
Yankees.
Posada was just always better, man. I hate to say it.
All right, so I'm gonna disagree with you on that basis, just off of my pick is Jason Veritek.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so yeah, Jason Veritek's numbers aren't like they don't like pop out at you, but Jason Veritek was crazy good with the pitchers. He was like the pitcher's catcher. Two, he was the captain of the team, so he set the tone for everything. He was a switch hitter, and the thing with Jason Veritek when he did come up to hit, a lot of times it was in like positions where we needed something to happen, and he would make like those
Mr.
clutch
Clutch.
hits, like whether it's just a single to bring in a runner, or to move the runner over, like he was always doing something. And then of course, Alex Rodriguez got up in his face and said, "Shut the fuck up." Well, I don't know if he said that, but you know, that's the whole reason.
One of the
he got
best brawls
freaking
of all
cap and
time.
got the C is because he went like toe to toe with A-Rod, A-Fraud,
Hey,
Like-
Juice.
bro. Like he,
I just want to say that if I could switch hit and not hit from either side, I'd call myself a switch hitter too. All right, let's move on.
Oh my god.
Let's go.
he had big
Let's
hits.
go
man.
on
He
to
had big
the-
hits.
Dude, he was so good.
Left field. Left field.
He was also very gritty.
If we actually had diehard Red Sox fans, they would legit hate me this episode.
Yes.
They'd be like,
Oh, what are
I'd be
you
banned for
doing?
being a Red Sox
What are
fan.
you doing?
Okay, left field. A lot of steroid options in left field.
Yes.
A lot. But for me, I go Alfonso Soriano, another large bat guy. Very large bat on him. Alfonso
Yes.
Soriano. Guy
Yeah, it's a
had
third
such.
leg.
I loved his any outie stance. You know, like his front foot was always so far in compared to his back foot, and he would like step backwards to hit his home runs. So I think I go Alfonso Soriano. I don't have much to say about him other than I know he had a lot of home runs. I might look that up real
He was
quick,
a
but that was my pick.
he was a small guy. He was a thin dude who had a lot of pop. It was crazy.
412 home runs, 819 OPS. I mean, that's kind of what I've been right around the 819
If you
OPS
could
guys.
find like his playing weight or something, he was like a thin dude. It's just so crazy how effortlessly. Well, he would put some effort in his swing, but he would hit the ball hard and far. Like, it was crazy.
Serious pop. I always liked the bats he used. He always had those like really white tan looking
White
bats
ashy.
with a bunch
Yeah.
of pine tar on it.
Yeah,
That was my favorite bat.
he would strike out a shit ton.
I used to always use that in whenever we used to create players in like the baseball games. I used to always do a white ashy bat like that with pine tar in the middle,
Yeah.
just for that reason. I guess I'll go next. I think my pick is way better. I'm gonna go Manny Ramirez. This dude is an all-time left fielder, especially when he was with the Red Sox. Do you want to hear this guy's career
You
OPS?
should have put him at DH.
No, I have somebody better. 996 career
That's
OPS
crazy.
Oof.
for Manny
Oh.
Ramirez. 555 home runs, 312 career batting average, while hitting 996 OPS, 555
That's
home runs,
crazy.
almost 2,000 ribbies,
Hey, what's his
69
what's his
3
career
WAR.
slugging?
I'll find that. Career
Also, I got
slugging,
Manny Ramirez at left field.
five,
Also,
585.
585. Jeez, it's almost
Dude, he was hitting
600.
30 to 40 home runs every year for a while.
That's crazy. Wow, that's 585.
Yeah, Manny
for
Ramirez.
career slugging. That's crazy.
555 career home runs, man. That's a lot of home runs.
Dude, I think of like Manny Ramirez, like '05 MVP baseball. Manny Ramirez on the cover of the game. That's what I think
Dude,
of.
he was probably my favorite opposite field home run swing ever.
Yeah.
Like, he would just hit those beautiful, he would pimp it, just hold that extension, and it would just go straight out to right field, like so effortlessly. Probably because he was on roids.
Manny Ramirez, dude. And he had the
Dude, that's a good
dreads.
pick.
You know.
Didn't he have an RBI
He had a
record?
sweet
Wow.
batting stance too.
I know he had like 165
That's a good question.
RBIs in
I
a
don't
season,
know.
which is outrageous.
Bless, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
I will find out. I will find out.
That is crazy. But we can skip me on that one because I also got Manny Ramirez for all the same reasons.
Yeah, the 165 is in bold. 165 RBIs and 99.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's wow. Was he
Wow.
on the A's during that time?
No? He's with Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Is that who he
Cleveland.
played with? Was he ever on the A's? Oh, he was.
He was
on
with
Yeah,
the A's.
Cleveland,
until
Cleveland, then
2000.
Boston.
He was on the A's later in his career. That's right.
Okay.
My pick is not as good,
Bret?
but this guy I have like an attachment to. Justin Upton. In 2005, he was a first round pick,
That's
and
good.
or he's the first overall pick. And you were talking about in baseball games, like he felt like my Michael Vick for baseball. Like I always picked him in every video game to like get him on my team because he was so fast. He was good at everything. Like he was 5-tool player all the
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
In his real life career, he didn't quite live up to the expectations, but he was still really solid. He was best on the Diamondbacks, who drafted him, and he's
Yeah.
an electric outfielder. And he played with his brother, which I thought was awesome. Like when I was younger, I was like, I can't wait to play with my brother someday.
Yeah,
in the
dude, that was
pros. Like,
sick. If he had
Yeah,
the power of
he'd been
BJ
awesome.
Upton, bro, he would have been nasty.
Man, I was gonna say BJ, arguably the better.
yeah, yeah.
No?
I was gonna say, in the
better
field,
probably
in
hitter.
the field,
I like the
Justin
Justin
Upton's
Upton
better,
pick, bro,
I
dude.
think.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Justin Upton also was one of those guys
Yeah.
that had like a cool swing. Like his home
Yeah.
runs, you were like, ooh. That
Yeah,
looked
he was
like
just
it's
fun to
going
watch.
really
to me.
far.
I don't know if the stats back it up, but he was fun.
Yeah, he was
But
good.
that's a cool thing. That's why we're doing this, right? Not
Oh.
everything is stat oriented. They picked Veritek.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I think
Oh my
I
God.
barely remember his face. Like I'm gonna have to look up some highlights of Veritek.
He's got a beard. Just look at him.
Yeah.
He had the classic Red Sox beard.
Yeah, for a while they all look the same there.
Just gritty play. That's true. That's a good point. They all did look the same.
Junior?
Yeah, I had Manny Ramirez. I don't think we need to further expand upon it. We discussed him thoroughly.
Wow. No Barry Bonds on the left field list. Okay.
No,
All right.
I'd rather have Manny.
Center field. Center field.
It's a good one.
I had Jim Edmonds, center field. I went back and forth on center field a lot, but where I ended up was Jim Edmonds. So, I just remember Jim Edmonds hitting a lot of home runs with a sweet looking swing and making a lot of diving catches. And that's what center field to me is all about.
Okay.
Wait,
I guess I'll go
what do
next.
you got, Paul?
So, my player, I feel like, changed baseball. Ken Griffey Jr. This dude introduced like swag into baseball with the backwards ball cap, the pimp job home runs. I don't really remember him being like an awesome fielder. I didn't remember him for that.
When he was
I just
young,
remember him.
you didn't know
I
him
just
when
remember
he
him
was young.
being
That's the problem. You saw thick
yeah,
Griffey.
630 home runs, 284 batting average, but this dude hit freaking Jimmy Jacks, and all his home runs were so clean.
He got
Like one of
injured
the
a lot
best
too, man.
swings.
He arguably would have been the most. He arguably could have led the league in home runs if he didn't get hurt as much as he did. So
Correct. His OPS wasn't great, 538.
He had a
slugging,
lot of bad years on the
370.
Reds.
Sorry, I take that back. His slugging is 907, OPS 538, so it's actually pretty nasty.
I think you're saying that backwards.
His OPS is 907, slugging 538.
Oh,
There
that
you
makes way more sense.
Yeah.
I was like, how is it
Yeah, Ken
possible
Griffey
that
Jr.,
his
dude.
on base plus slugging is less
I
than
know,
his
I
slugging?
was thinking about that too. I was like, wait a minute, this isn't adding up.
Whatever.
Nice. All right,
Ken Griffey.
All right, I got another.
Brett, who do you
Brett.
got?
I got
Don't
another
say David
Ranger.
Murphy, please.
It is Josh Hamilton. Yes,
Josh
Josh
Hamilton.
Hamilton. When I was
Oh,
when
yeah,
I was
he
watching
was. He
baseball
was a legend.
consistently every day, I'm like I do now, but when I started doing that, Josh Hamilton was the center fielder for our team, and he was incredible. That guy was fragile, but he played like he was indestructible. That he would run into walls at full speed. He was diving at every ball. I mean, he was a great outfielder, and then he has the purest swing to this day. I've never seen someone more effortlessly hit home runs. Like, it looked like he was barely swinging, and they were just...
And not
No,
like
he's hitting
370-foot home runs, like
just
480
absolutely
foot home runs.
dingers. And
450,
it was so much fun to watch. And, like, his 2010 MVP season, he only played 33 games, had 100 RBIs, 33 home runs. He scored 100 runs himself. Like, he was just on a tear, and it was just so much fun to watch. And I was like, the best player in baseball is on my favorite team, and that is fun. Like, I love watching him every day.
Yeah. He definitely was
Yeah.
the best player in baseball. Like, those years,
Yeah.
it was not a question. Everybody knew, like, Josh Hamilton is, like,
Yep.
the reason the Rangers are going.
And he's a home run legend
And,
derby.
I remember.
Home run derby legend.
Yeah,
That's what I was
Yeah.
gonna
that's
say.
what I was just gonna say. I was just about to say that he that freaking home run derby was so memorable. It was crazy, setting the record for home runs during that. Well, I think it's been broken now, but
He's the reason that there's a shot clock right now.
yeah.
When they were,
Reese, get down. Sorry.
Reese McGuire, you watching the Red Sox game? Down.
No, they play tonight.
I'm
What a
sorry. My
game
dog
last
just
night.
walked across the top of the table. I don't know what she's doing.
Junior?
Yeah, Junior?
All right, center fielder. It's funny. I went same as Sam, Jim Edmonds. For the same reasons. Jim Edmonds, roaming center fielder for the Cardinals. First off, that Cardinals team was crazy good, legendary team.
Yeah.
But the amount of plays he would make, he would do so many over the top balls, diving in the air, like completely lateral catches. It was ridiculous, and he had so much power too. Like, he would hit home
He had
runs.
a 900 OPS,
And
903.
and how big he was, I never expected him. Every time I watched him play defense, I never expected him to make the plays that he would because of how big he was. And I didn't think of him as a fast guy, but he was pretty fast. And I don't know, man. He played so hard. He played so good. He made dynamic
Jim Edmonds
plays.
highlights are some of the most fun highlights to watch. I'll say that.
Dude. They are so nasty.
I want to throw an honorable mention out for this one because outfield, there's a lot of outfielders that are good, and I didn't have Jim Edmonds on mine at first. I'm going to say the guy I had initially, but I do still want, like, Jim Edmonds is my pick. But I did have this one as honorable mention. It's Kenny Lofton. Kenny Lofton, if you guys didn't watch him play or remember him, he had 2,400 career hits.
He's good.
794 OPS. He was a speed guy that had some pop. 130 home runs, 299
yes.
average for his career. 684 WAR. So he was winning pretty good.
Yeah.
So Kenny Lofton, he was on a lot of good teams. He was a super fast center fielder. Like the prototypical center fielder was Kenny Lofton. So 622 stolen bases for Kenny Lofton. That's a lot of stolen
when it was
bases.
hard.
It is.
Dude, that's a really lot. Holy sh.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's insane.
Back when they would punch you in the face when you slid into second. Okay. Anything else, guys, on center field? That was my last thing there. Right field. I have a great right field pick. I'm wondering if there's going to be any overlap on right field because there's a lot of good outfielders in right field, but only a few special ones. I'm going to go Ichiro Suzuki out there in right field.
I think that's the right pick.
Ichiro
Yeah, I think so.
Suzuki. That's about time I get a couple pats on the back for a good pick.
That's a good pick. Yeah, that's like the first one on the list.
3,089 career hits, not counting all the hits in Japan that he had. 311 batting average, 509 stolen bases, 757 OPS. I feel like he's a guy that could have hit for a lot more pop if he chose to be that kind of player in his career. Because in batting practice, I guess he was pretty legendary for hitting nukes. But yeah, so there you go. Ichiro
Great
Suzuki.
pick.
That's so good, dude. He's such a good baseball player. And like Japanese baseball players are like known for just like being good human beings. And he was just that. And like he's still around baseball today coaching with Seattle and like, or is he with Miami now coaching? I don't know. But he's still coaching and like he still dresses up, like hits BP all the time. This dude just lives and breathes baseball.
I remember one of my memories
so
of
good.
him playing is like he had this ridiculously great throwing arm. And I remember one highlight of him just throwing a guy out from like right field line down to third base, just a seed.
On a line.
Boom, like rocket, like hardest throw I feel like I've ever seen. And
he's tiny too. He probably like 160 pounds.
He would do something amazing every time you watched him there. You're like, man, people just aren't
Seattle
playing baseball
like made
the
their
way
own
he is.
theme song for him, like a band like made a whole song, and it's awesome. I played it at the end of the episode that Sam was there.
Wow.
It's good stuff.
Nice. Paul?
So mine hurts my heart. It hurts my soul.
Okay.
Just because this was like this guy like really brought me back to baseball. Because I used to love watching baseball and then it kind of like fell off a little bit. I used to watch from like 2008 to like 2013, not as much, but I still watch. But once I started watching this guy play in 2014 with the Red Sox, he brought me back to baseball. He was my first Red Sox jersey that I personally bought. Mookie Betts still plays. This dude is probably going to be one of the best players out there at the end of his career. MVP already. Yeah, dude's just an all-around great ball player in the field, on the bases, hits 20 to 30 home runs a year. Like, I'll pull up his stats too. Just so
292 career average,
He's fun.
1,300 hits already.
215
887
home
OPS
runs.
for his career. That's pretty good.
And he's probably how old right now? 30. So
He's
he's
probably
just
got-
getting to his prime.
He's probably got 5 to 7 more years.
Yeah,
I just
think
missed it. Mookie Betts.
Betts.
Nice.
Yeah, Mookie
I
Betts
went
has
Ichiro. Paul went
Got
Mookie
it.
Betts.
Mookie Betts has a sweet spot in my heart still. Any bowls, dude? Me and Mookie Betts have so much in common.
All right, I'm up. I think I'm going with Hunter Pence. Kind of another Giants. Like I really
I
like
thought
Hunter
about that.
Pence because he came back. He had like a comeback season where the Giants like got rid of him, and then he came to the Rangers for 1 year and played like he was just as good as he had ever been. And he was just a lot of fun to watch. And I also liked him on the Giants teams. And he's another Texas guy from Texas. He always bats with no gloves, and he's got the goofiest looking swing ever. But it's so effective.
So
Everything he does
unorthodox
is just,
at everything.
It just looks so goofy. Maybe that's why I relate to him so hard. You know, everything he does looks goofy. But
I want to say Hunter Pence is
And he
just
seems-
an awesome pick. Like,
he
what
seems
a
cool
great
too,
dude.
and like he looks like maybe like a homeless man who would tell you the government is run by aliens or something. Like everything, he's just a crazy looking dude. But Yeah, the eyes
He
that were
had
just
those
always
eyes
like.
that were like, oh, like
But oh man, he seems like a nice
bulging,
guy.
right? He had those bulging eyes.
I think of like Hunter Pence. I think of like just an athletic dude, a tall, like lanky, athletic dude who just learned how to play baseball
Yeah,
and is just good
yeah.
at it.
That guy in high school that the coach was like,
think.
"Hey, you're an athlete. Come
Just
play
natural
baseball." And
ability.
he doesn't know what he's doing, but he's doing it really well.
He's just learning. That's what I think of. That's a good pick. So right field, I go with the home run chaser. I got to go with Sammy Sosa. Sammy Sosa, the whole steroid like home run chase was electric. It really, it really like got baseball back in the mainstream. And I wasn't really a Mark McGwire guy. Like I didn't want him to win. I wanted Sammy Sosa to take that home run leader spot. And I just remember, man, he played up to it. He was a big dude. I mean, compared to Mark McGwire, he was a smaller guy. But he was still a big dude. And I just remember him like all-star games, like running around with the American flag, just hauling ass, just full sprint across the outfield. Like he was so fast too, just all power. Nowadays, he looks so weird. I don't know if you've seen him now. It's a weird looking dude now.
Isn't he white now?
He's not Sammy Sosa anymore. Now he's Sam Sosa.
It's more fun to remember him
What?
in his playing days.
He's now Samuel
he is
Sosa.
I'm gonna have to look that up. That's wild.
Yeah, Google him.
Yeah, you gotta look up some images. He got some of the
It's really
some of the
kind of
Michael Jackson
Jackson-esque.
treatment.
Yeah, he's a different guy nowadays. But
Oh my
but when he was
gosh.
roiding,
Oh my goodness.
he's
Yo, talk
he's a
about
different guy.
Yeah.
what on. Sorry.
Yeah, he's a whole.
Oh
different
my
guy.
gosh.
Yeah.
That was shocking.
Steroid Sammy though was the best.
Yeah. Yeah. If you haven't ever looked up what he looks like now, just
I
don't.
know. I regret it instantly. So
Yeah.
Remember him for what he was, not for what he
Remember
is now.
him? Remember Sammy Sosa full sprint
Yeah.
with that American flag.
Yeah.
Remember him
On the
like that.
juice. And then he would,
On the
dude, he
juice.
would hit that. He would hit a home run, and then he would do like that little sideways home run, like little leap, like put his arms.
He had the Sammy
out,
Sosa
like the
hop,
Sammy
man.
Sosa hop. That thing was, I friggin' love it.
It would suck every now and then he would do
It
that and
wouldn't
it wouldn't
go
go out.
But that's where I go right field.
Okay. I like that. That was a good outfield pick. Strong outfield pick.
he had a weird.
Yeah.
He had a. Okay, sorry.
Okay.
He had a weird Texas Ranger moment
Go
where
ahead.
he hit his 600th home run with the Texas Rangers, and that was just really odd. Yeah.
Wow, I don't
Whoa.
remember that at
Yeah.
all. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. 2007.
That is weird.
Isn't it?
That is
Isn't it weird?
Weird.
It's like
I don't
you don't
like
think of him as a
It's-
Ranger player.
Did you?
No, I
what-
didn't.
did you
He
love
was
him?
fine. No, I don't like.
You don't like
the
the steroid guys, huh?
They're a bunch of Astros.
Well, this is a steroid guys pod, so
We're in full support of everybody taking steroids in the MLB.
That's so
Like,
gross.
that game would be
Ooh.
so the game would be so exciting. If everybody
Imagine
took
it, though.
steroids.
let's
you
just find a way
imagine-
to make it legal.
Can you imagine
and
being
then,
a
and then we're good.
baseball player and being like, I legitimately the only way I can make the pros is if I take an illegal drug. Like, ugh.
Or we just make
Imagine.
Yeah, but like,
Imagine.
think about
Aaron
it this way.
Judge. Imagine Aaron Judge.
that is the
What does that
is
look
the-
like?
that
Mark
is the
McGwire.
standard that we said. Aaron Judge on steroids would be crazy. Imagine how
He would hit it over.
fast Shohei would be throwing.
Oh my gosh.
Imagine this. So imagine a baseball league where this exists, where you allow pitchers to use spider tack and whatever the hell they want, and you're
Oh
essentially
my
playing
gosh.
wiffle ball, and then you have these 300-pound yoked up dudes hitting 550-foot bombs.
We'd have,
Like,
we'd have to
imagine
go
that.
bigger park.
Dude, that sounds terrible.
I've listened to y'all before. This isn't surprising, but oh my gosh. I can finally disagree with you in person. So I'm like, yes, all right. I got to get my 2 cents in. No steroids.
Corked bats, freaking everything.
Let's
Throw it
do
all
it
in
all.
there.
Bad. Oh my
Freaking-
god.
all of it. HGH. Let's steroids and HGH. Let's juice everybody.
All right. Let's get this thing on track. The perfect opportunity for steroids at a position, DH. All right. DH, all-time DHs. Who do we want? Who's your favorite DH, designated hitter? Really, you could put anybody here. Just your favorite
That's kind of what
hitter.
I did.
But for me, I'm going Shohei Ohtani at DH
Good pick.
because the dude is just the best right now. 2000, we're recording this in 2023. This dude is the best player alive, and it's not really close. And he just hits home runs like nothing. He's like Ichiro's swing, but he's 6'5", and it's just beautiful.
Dude, I saw a video of him yesterday in the World Baseball Classic, him hitting a home run, and it hit off the center field screen halfway up.
Yeah,
Like,
it was like
it was
480.
probably like 520.
Yeah,
And it was just
ridiculous.
effortless. I was like, oh my God, this dude is superhuman.
He is.
Ohtani, my DH.
Good pick. Good pick. I'm going to go another person who gives me Dustin Pedroia vibes for the Red Sox.
Oh my God.
David Ortiz. And this dude
That's a
literally.
good pick.
I don't
I
know,
like
City.
David- David Ortiz, I feel like is one of the greatest DHs of all time, especially with his World
For sure.
Series performance in 2018. He hit like 600 with like 4 home runs in the World Series. Like the dude was unreal at hitting the baseball, especially in clutch moments. If you were losing in the 9th inning and you had bases loaded, this dude was coming through every single time.
Career stats for David Ortiz: 2,472 hits, 541 home runs, 286 average, 931 OPS. The dude was a beast. I
Dude
mean,
would rake.
he's contact, he was power, he was everything
You guys,
that you needed. That's why.
did you guys like when he would play the field, like go in at first base? I always
Yeah, dude. It looked
like, oh, this dude's out here playing.
Dude, he was
That dude would-
gigantic.
He was surprisingly
he was
fast,
not
though.
good.
I don't think I've
He was surprisingly fast.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody run on their heels as much as David Ortiz.
No, that's a
You got to get that spike in the
dude.
ground.
That's a what's his name? Oh, why am I blinking on his name? First baseman, St. Louis, running on his heels. What? Albert
Albert Pujols?
Pujols. He's the gold standard for a heel runner,
Oh yeah,
just stomping on his heels.
that's a good DH pick right there, Albert
Dude,
Pujols.
his numbers are stupid. His numbers
Yeah.
are so
Brett,
freaking
what are you
stupid.
going
I'm
with?
going with Nelson Cruz because Cruz
Ooh,
is still good.
This dude is
but
still hitting
He's
bombs.
like Ian Kinsler, where he played on those good Rangers teams for 8 years, and they played together. And obviously, he's infamous for the Rangers for misjudging a pop up that would have won us the World
Yes.
Series had he caught it. But I think people forget that he was the reason we were there. You know, like he had 8
Yeah.
home runs that postseason, which it tied a record for most home runs in a postseason. I was there on the October 11th or October 10th game where he hit a walk-off grand slam, which was the first walk-off grand slam in playoff history. And
Wow.
it was
Man,
so
that must have been
cool.
electric.
Oh, dude, it was one of the coolest moments of my life. And it was like the stadium was rocking. I could feel it like at my feet. I could feel the stadium swaying. And even when we left the stadium, it was still like shaking. Like we were standing outside and you could see the stadium shaking. Like that was the most hype I've ever seen, like a group of people. And so like it right there,
That's cool.
he burned a like memory into my heart. I'm like, I love this guy forever. Even when he misjudged the ball, I was devastated at the time, but then the next day I'm like over it because I was like, he's still one of my favorite players. So I love me some Nelson Cruz, and he's so clutch as a hitter. Maybe not as a fielder, but as a hitter, he's very clutch. So
Also, had a couple.
well, I look past that because because that moment. Yep.
You know what's I liked his home run swing, like when especially out in Rangers, the ballpark in Arlington.
Yeah.
His like torque, just his like the way he finishes his swing, it's just
Yes.
so much torque in this follow through. Like I freaking love it.
Yeah.
He's got.
I will say, yeah, for a right-handed player, one of the prettier home run
So cool.
swings.
Yeah.
Like it's just unique.
Yeah. That's a great pick. I actually really like that pick. At DH, I go with actually one that Sam had. I go Alfonso Soriano. There was a moment in time where he was my favorite baseball player, just because he just raked. he just raked. He swung a big bat. He was a thinner dude, and he had stupid pop, and it just didn't make sense for his stature. He would strike out a shit ton though. Like he was always striking out. He was always striking out, but it didn't matter. I just loved watching him play. When he played second base,
he would have been great in today's
when he
era.
played second base too, he made a shit ton of errors. Like it was just he made so many errors.
You'd rather have Chuck Knobloch over there?
At least you're picking DH here. He doesn't have to play the field.
Yeah, that's why he doesn't need to play the field. Go out there, strike out, or hit a home run. That's all I want from you.
That's probably where he belongs, honestly,
Yeah.
is the DH spot. That's a good pick.
Yeah, that's what I got.
All right. You want to just recap our position players we have real quick? So I'll go through mine. This is our full, basically, hitting lineup that we have. So I have Jorge Posada at catcher, Rafael Palmeiro at first, second base is Dustin Pedroia, third base, Evan Longoria, shortstop, Derek Jeter, left field, Alfonso Soriano, right field, Ichiro Suzuki, center field, Jim Edmonds, DH, Shohei Ohtani. I like my team.
All right, for me, I have Jason Varitek at catcher, Mark McGuire at first base, Dustin Pedroia at second, Adrian Beltre at third, Nomar Garcia-Parra at shortstop, Manny Ramirez in left field, Mookie Betts in right field, and Ken Griffey Jr. in center field.
Dude, that's legit like
And-
almost a
and
full
David
Red
Ortiz.
Sox team.
And David Ortiz at DH.
That's a good team.
All right.
It is
I
a good
got,
team, though.
Buster Posey at catcher,
Team's
Freddie
yoked.
Freeman at first, Ian Kinsler at second, Trevor Story at shortstop, Beltre at third, Hunter Pence in right field, Justin Upton in left field, Josh Hamilton in center field, and then Nelson Cruz as my DH.
That's a good team too. Damn. All right, so I had Varitek at catcher, first baseman Todd Helton, second baseman Dustin Pedroia, third baseman Chipper Jones, shortstop Nomar Garcia-Parra, left field I had Manny Ramirez, center field Jim Edmond, right field Sammy Sosa, and DH Alfonso Soriano.
Nice. All right, so those are our hitting lineups. That's some good teams. I like how much different they are, though. They're a little bit more different than I was
Yeah, they really
expecting.
are.
So, okay, so last two things to do for this episode. We all got to pick a starting pitcher and a closing pitcher to go with these crazy hitting lineups. So for me, the most fun I ever had watching a pitcher throw a baseball was Randy Johnson. The big unit.
Mhm.
There was just nobody like him, and there's still nobody like him. He was just gigantic, so lanky. What a crazy arm slot. The only thing close to it is like Chris Sale, but he's not the same right now as what he used to be. But Randy Johnson, he was just how intimidating would
Dude,
you
he was
be?
intimidating.
Like, imagine going up to hit up against Randy Johnson, and you're just like, this guy's gigantic, and he's throwing so hard.
He was scary looking, man.
And his slider's going to hit me in the back of my ankle, and I'm going to swing at it.
He had that long curly hair, and then like his face was just like he was so intense.
He looked like Slender Man out there pitching.
Yeah.
That's a good pick. That's a great pick.
Man. Paul?
For me, I thought about Randy Johnson, and then I also thought about doing something really stupid and saying Clay Buchholz when
God,
Clay
shut
Buchholz
up.
was good. back whenever he used to put sunscreen in his hair, and he was freaking getting sunscreen on his hands from his hair.
Y'all love cheaters.
But I thought I'd go something better.
He used to come
I'm
out
gonna
like
go-
Triple H, spinning water up in the air like his hair was so wet.
I'm going Pedro Martinez, one of the best pitchers of all time, especially in Red Sox history.
Yeah.
Career 2.93 ERA, 89.3 WAR. Yeah. Pedro Martinez.
All right.
All right.
Those are two good
I got
picks.
Felix Hernandez. Obviously played for Seattle.
King Felix.
And for a while was the only player I knew on Seattle's team for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
how
feel like that's how
everybody
everybody
I loved,
was.
like, it was one of those things too where I knew I liked him when I dreaded seeing him play against the Rangers, but I also was like kind of looking forward to it at the same time. It was like It's like, golly, he's
Yeah.
gonna toast us, but
Yeah.
also it's gonna be cool. And King Felix is such a baller
Yeah.
nickname. I love that. King Felix is awesome.
Yeah, that's what I think of.
Yeah,
King
dude.
Felix.
He drove my dad and my grandpa crazy wearing his hat a little crooked, and I just I thought that was hilarious. I'm like, I bet that's why he does it. But no, he just had swag. He was a fun pitcher to watch.
Yep.
And I remember too, like one of the first pitchers I ever saw that I thought, okay, I probably am not going to make the pros. Actually, like I'm never going to be able to hit what he's throwing. Yeah.
As
Yeah,
a 12-year-old,
exactly.
you're like,
he's
yeah,
crushing my
I don't know
dreams at
how
the
to
same
do it.
time. I'm enjoying
I
watching him.
think Fernando Rodney too had that like crooked hat, didn't he? Like that's who I think of.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Fernando Rodney and the dude with the super high
Dontrell,
leg kick.
Dontrell Willis.
Dontrell Willis
Yeah,
Dontrell Willis, dude.
that's true too. Man, that's good times.
Junior.
My
Who's your
pitcher
pitcher?
is I go with Greg Maddux. That was I'm old enough to remember him pitching in his crazy good years. He had so much control of his pitches. He knew exactly what he wanted to do and where he wanted to place it, and he would do that. He was like a 4-time Cy Young winner. I think he won all consecutively, 4 in a row. I think he won 4 consecutive Cy Youngs, and then he was like an 18-time Gold Glove winner too, like pitcher, which is stupid. Just a wizard out there with a baseball. And like when I think of him, I think of a time where pitchers are no longer made the way he is. With the extreme, just knowing his game and knowing how to throw and understanding everything so well. The only thing that really
There's nobody quite like him, right? He's not throwing with any kind of power. It's just all placement and movement, and he was elite. I mean, he's one of the best of all time, and he couldn't hardly break 90.
and he just knew what to
That's
throw
just unheard of.
at the right moment. Like he just knew. Like there was so much. He was playing chess while everybody was playing checkers. Like he was playing chess always.
Yeah.
And then to be the best defensive pitcher ever, like that just goes to show more so of how hard he actually worked, and how much he actually cared. It's crazy.
Yeah. Pitchers are athletes too, man.
That's what they say.
All right. Closing pitcher. We'll end it with this. For me, it's Eric Gagne. Eric Gagne in his prime. This dude had the glasses, the short curly hair. I watched an old highlight, and it really swayed my opinion. I was like, man, I don't remember how nasty this guy was. He was had the movement on 99 miles per hour, just zip, like a little two-seam fastball. I don't know what it was, if it was a fastball or a sinker, but God, that thing had a nasty bite to it, and it was 99 miles an hour. And then his off-speed was so slow. It was like, how do you hit that? Yeah, it's just impossible. And in the highlight I watched, Barry Bonds ended up going full count and hitting a walk-off home run. But that same highlight got me thinking, I think I'd rather have Eric Gagne throwing. And he was just fun and electric to watch.
He had a 2-year
my
period where he was just untouchable. It was crazy.
Yeah. And that's the 2-year period where I
mean, it makes sense. Yeah, it was really good. What you got, Paul?
This is tough. This is tough for me because I really wanted to go Mariano Rivera, but I'm not a Yankees fan, so I'm not going to. I think he's the greatest, but I'm not going that route. I'm going to go with somebody who I used to watch. I don't know. I mean, closers, I think of J. Papp and all these people I used to watch with the Red Sox, but this one closer always comes to mind when I think of closers. Francisco Rodriguez, K-Rod. This dude, in his prime, closing was top-notch deal. If he was coming in the game, he was striking out 3 guys, ending the game. You knew it. That's what I think of whenever I think of closing.
Okay, Rod.
Back when
that guy was great.
K-Rod, dude.
His
prime
his
K-Rod.
movement on his pitches was just crazy.
Yeah. I think of like for closers, they got to be like electric. You said, Sam. I think electric's like the perfect word. When your closer comes in, the other team has to be demoralized. Like, oh my gosh, like this guy, K-Rod was that. Is it my turn?
Yep.
All right,
Yes.
and I'm gonna pick Neftali Feliz. Talking about electric, but I'm only gonna pick 2010 Neftali Feliz.
Some control issues.
He did, but when he was a rookie, he won Rookie of the Year. He had 38 saves, which set the record for most saves by a rookie. Talk about
good.
like he was just shutting people down.
Wow.
Like nobody was touching his stuff. And he's a big part of sending us to the first World Series. And he's got the iconic Texas Ranger picture of him like striking out the last Yankee, sending us there. Everyone dogpiles him on the mound, and it's like that's like everywhere in the Ranger Stadium.
And the crazy thing is he was a kid.
Shoulder was never the same.
Yeah,
He was a freaking kid doing that stuff.
He threw the third fastest pitch ever recorded at 103.4 miles an hour. And he was another guy that I saw play for the Rough Riders, and it was just cool to watch him go into the pros and do well. So Neftali, great year.
Yeah. Yeah, he was electric that year.
It's all right. Gagne had 2 years. So far, K-Rod's the most lengthy careered guy. That was like pretty good for a while.
Until I go, man, I'm going the same staff. I'm going John Smoltz, because when they had Greg Maddux, right? Greg Maddux was like the opposite of John Smoltz. John Smoltz was like the power, like the heat. He had the heat, and he had still good control. That whole staff was crazy, but John Smoltz, he would close games. He would saves, just saves on saves on saves, and to go from Maddux to John Smoltz, I don't know how you. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
talk
know
about
how
an
you make
adjustment.
Because that is going from picking spots to I'm coming at you with heat and you're not going to hit it.
And you're going from 70 to 88 mile an hour fastball all the way up to the 90s, and then you're like, okay, that 90 now looks like 105 because we've been seeing freaking 70 and 80s all game.
I like that combo, that duo.
That's a good pick. Well, those are our teams, guys. I hope people that enjoy this are really big baseball fans, or if you're not big baseball fans, we've given you some knowledge about the game. Obviously, we're all big baseball fans, so this is fun for us.
Go watch some highlights on some of these players, because they have.
Yes, dude. If you don't know any of these names, go watch the highlights. They're all incredible players, minus maybe Veritek and Upton. But anyways, other than that,
go watch Veritek highlights. Go watch.
Upton has some sweet catches, dude.
Go watch Veritek.
I don't know about Todd Helton being first base either.
They bring out the VHS tapes.
He gets slept on. This is what I'm saying. Paul wasn't even born yet.
He put me to sleep.
I remember seeing Todd Helton, and I was like, dude, this dude's not on steroids. I don't care about him.
I'm going to go look
up. All right, well, anybody... Yeah. Well, thanks to everybody. If you made it this far in the podcast, you were a real one. This was a lot. It's a lot of information, a lot of players. So if you made it here, thank you for listening, and we hope you enjoy it. And thanks, Bret, for coming on the episode.
Yeah.
Hey, plug your podcast real quick before we
got the At Leisure podcast, sports, games, movies. We just putting out a Star Wars episode, so if you're into that kind of stuff. But thank y'all for having me on.
Nice.
And Sam's on pretty consistent too, so if you like Sam, there's a few of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening, and we are out. Chest chops. We just wanted to say thanks again, everybody, for listening to this episode of the DV Sports and Gaming Podcast. With that said, we wanted to give you guys a proper outro. Here we go.
All right, guys. So please follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. We have DV Sports and Gaming for Instagram. Our TikTok is DV Sports Gaming, and our YouTube is DV Sports and Gaming. We post all kinds of videos, all kinds of clips, sports related, and also just gaming clips. So please subscribe and follow.
And don't forget to utilize our social medias to interact with us and give feedback on the podcast and content that we create. We want to build a community around sports and gaming with our fans and listeners. And as always, guys, thanks for listening to the DV Sports and Gaming Podcast. We'll see you guys next time.